So we've seen some pretty extreme weather here in the US with this Arctic blast in the last week, pretty much over the Christmas break. But did you know that it happened in other places as well around the world? Not just an Arctic blast, but some crazy weather all over the Christmas holidays. So if this is of interest to you, tag along for the video. I will take you to Asia, the Middle East, and south of us here. So I'm Anne, the little Frenchie in Big Texas. Welcome to my channel. If this is of interest to you, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel as well. But let's get started here, and let me start by sharing my screen. I want to show you a few news articles to take you on that tour around the world. So here we go. That should show, yes. So we're going to start, of course, here in the US. So we all know about it. So that was just before Christmas, over 200 million Americans under some kind of winter alert, and a lot of travel disruptions all around the country. Rockies, South, Midwest, Great Lakes, Eastern Seaboard, everywhere. Look at that picture. That unfortunately was not here in Texas, so that looks like it was Chicago, among the many American cities experiencing colder than average temperatures. Yes, and look at these temperatures here. I mean, all right, Alaska is probably winning the palm on that one. Minus 27 degrees, but look at that, it's all over. Nashville, Tennessee, -1. It's pretty cold, but even here in Texas, it got pretty cold. Look at this. So pretty much, yes, an Arctic blast sweeping the country. So the best pictures here are probably the ones from Buffalo that we know. So now the snow is melting. They're afraid that the rain could cause minor flooding. All right, Buffalo, area, county. Now temperatures could rise as high as 50 degrees. Woohoo! It's pretty much the same here in Texas. I mean, we went to from 16 Fahrenheit to 70. I mean, big swings. And look at that picture I found. So this is Texas, right? Texas car wash freezes in cold weather. Looks like icy Arctic cave. So this is at an H-E-B store, I believe around Austin, so Central Texas. Look at that. That's quite something, right? If you all remember, a year ago, so February 21, we had that Arctic freeze that actually damaged quite a bit of Texas, caused severe death, people trying to hit themselves with their car in their garage and so on. There was a lot of power outages at the time in 2021, and we were pretty much all told, oh, that is exceptional, right? It happens every, I don't know, 30, 50 years, 100 years, I don't remember the number, but it's not something that's common. And look at it. It's happening again. It just happened again 1 year from then. It was not as bad. The grid held. So there were very few outages in Texas. So the grid held, which made a lot of differences. But still, it got, I mean, these pictures speak for themselves. I mean, this is not the image you would get of Texas. I mean, I remember studying here some years ago and being around the swimming pool in the middle of January in Texas. It can be that warm, 80. I mean, this is just crazy, crazy, crazy. The Great Texas Freeze showed us last year. The Lone Star State can get pretty chilly. Yes, but that was supposed to be exceptional, right? So apparently it's not. And so what happened in Texas actually went south. Look at this. They had some pretty good snow in Mexico as well. And not just the capital, because remember, the capital of Mexico, it's higher. It's like 2,000 meters of altitude. So it does get snow in Mexico City. But it wasn't just Mexico City here, because snowfall in 3 municipalities. And that picture, whew, a polar cold was felt last night and early this morning in Mexico City, where it snowed in 3 municipalities. Pretty nice picture, right? So it really went down south, not just Texas here, down to Mexico City. pretty cold weather here. So that is, I would say, North America, right? Now, if we cross the Pacific Ocean and go to Japan, look at that. Just quick search, snow in Japan. Look at the pictures you get. And they're not from 2 years ago. They were just there 5 days ago. So that was Christmas as well. Heavy snow in Japan leaves 17 dead and dozens injured. That was over Christmas. See, Sunday, December 25th. That is Japan. Pretty much the same pictures that we saw in Buffalo, right? That looks like the northern part of the US, northeast. Powerful winter fronts have dumped heavy snow in northern regions since last week, stranding hundreds of vehicles on highways, delaying delivery services, and causing 11 deaths by Saturday. Just what we've seen in the US. More snowfall over the Christmas weekend brought the number of dead to 17 and injured 93 by Monday morning. So pretty much the same story across the Pacific here. So that is snow. Now let's talk about flooding. And that's the one that actually surprised me the most. And we're going to the Middle East here. We are going to Jordan. So Jordan is just on the other side from the Dead Sea from Israel, right? So this is the ancient city of Petra. And it flooded as heavy rains lashed Jordan. Look at these pictures here. This is quite interesting. So you probably have seen, if you have not visited Petra, this is the ancient city. And it's pretty well known because there was an Indiana Jones that where you had Harrison Ford ride his horse. That was exactly there. And you have a pretty deep, to get in there, you have a deep kind of valley where you have to walk. And it's not the first time it floods in Petra, because you can see when you visit, you can see the flood lines around the rocks. But when you're trapped in there, you are just pretty much, there's no way out. There is no way out. So they had deaths in the past. I don't believe this time it happened, but it happened in the past. Look at that one. Look at that one. Look at that water here. So they evacuated all the tourists. I believe this time they managed it better than in the past, because years back they had quite a few deaths, and actually some French tourists. So the ancient city of Petra, located in present-day Jordan, is one of the most iconic archaeological sites in the world. It is beautiful. However, what many people don't know is that Petra has been hit by several major floods over the centuries. These have not only shaped the city's history, but also left their own indelible marks on the surrounding landscapes. And that's exactly what you see when you walk down that défilé kind of thing, where you just, before arriving to the carved monuments on the rocks. Petra was hit by a flash flood that resulted in fatalities in 1963, when quickly rising water took the lives of 22 French visitors. That was the one, and a local tour guide. So it happened again. They had an alarm system installed in 2014. Yes. Nevertheless, flooding in the same location in 2018 sadly resulted in the deaths of 13 people again. That's the thing. When you're trapped, you are trapped there. So it flooded again this year. Heavy rain. So we had snow here, snow in Japan, heavy rains in Jordan, in the Middle East, where you would expect the least, pretty much. It's all dry. It's a desert, literally a desert. Next to it, you have a very well-known desert where people go and camp, spend the night looking at the stars. It's a desert, which also, when you got heavy rain, the ground is so dry, it cannot absorb, and it floods. What happened here? So that's Jordan, but let's go back to Asia now, because that's not the only place where it flooded. Here we are in the Philippines, just Christmas as well. Rain, floods in Philippines leave 32 dead and others missing. Look at that. That was December 26 for the picture, 27 for the article. Heavy rains and floods devastated parts of the Philippines over the Christmas weekend. So here too, I mean, the Philippines is prone to typhoons, hurricanes, so it's seen floods. It's not the first time, but it's just happening all at the same time over Christmas. See? Left at least 32 dead and 24 missing. More than 56,000 people were still in emergency shelters after bad weather disrupted Christmas celebration in the eastern, central, and southern Philippines. So that's what we have, guys. Crazy weather all around the world. So I do not know at the end, you know, whether climate change is real or not. But when I see this here, it makes me wonder, right? Because it's everywhere. Everywhere. So just wanted to share in case you did not hear of all these crazy events, and these are just a few examples. There are more out there. I just saw the flooding in Petra, kind of. I actually saw the water flowing in one of the video, and it's not what you would expect. But there you are. So I hope you found this interesting. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, and as I said before, subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for watching. Be safe.